Hello, it's Adonis Turner of Adonis Power and Conditioning, and here's a workout summary of June 7, 2016. Today was completely revolved around conditioning exercises, as my program is upper body, essentially chest, shoulders, and arms, and then legs and back the second day, and then the third day is conditioning. So this is the third day of the week, and I did 3 sets of 30 seconds as fast as I can battle roads. This is really tough. Today, this workout felt nearly impossible. This was supposed to be only an hour workout, but it lasted probably an hour 40 just because of how fatigued I was. After that, I lifted the 700-pound tire, and it basically required all of my energy. Unfortunately, on this day, I needed more rest time because of how exhausted I was. Like I said, I think I was on about 4 hours of sleep, but I knew that I had to just put that aside, get the workout done, and then get some rest for tomorrow because I got to wake up early tomorrow and do an upper body workout. But as you can see, this is very, very tough. It's taking about 15 seconds a rep on average, as you can see, and you're going to see about 3 or 4 sets. I can't remember, and this one was really tough too because that slight wet spot. And then I just push it down, and then this next set. Pretty much none of the sets I wanted anything to do with this tire, but I knew if it's something I wrote down, it had to get done. Um, One thing about the tires, as you're doing it, you have to have very, very explosive momentum coming out of the bottom, or it's going to feel almost impossible throughout the entire time. Like if you're slow from the pushing, using your hamstrings to push it out of the bottom, then you're going to have a hard time during the entire lift. But if you're fast as possible out of the bottom, because that's the hardest part, to get it from let's see, from the floor or the ground to your chest. That'd be the hardest part of all of it. Obviously, when it's at the top, you can rest on your legs, or you can just push it with your upper body. And as you can see, this is the third rep. For the tires, I did 5 sets of 3. And again, this is a 700-pound tire, and I'm pretty gassed on this day. This is set 4, I believe, and this one was one of the better ones. I feel like I got good momentum out of the bottom. That's a good one. That's how every rep should look, but it's not a perfect world, so you have to do what you can and do the best with what energy you have. But this is set 2. I kind of treat it like a sumo deadlift, but obviously it's nowhere near the same thing. The thing about lifting with barbells, it's a lot more convenient because essentially you have a bar in front of you and then all the weights are on the side. This is not only really heavy, but the weight is spread out over the surface of your entire body, so it's not as convenient. And as you can see, here is one more rep. Just taking a deep breath, bracing, putting air against my core, and then pushing it all the way through. And here, I believe, is the final set. On the last set of the 5 sets of 3, I decided to do as many reps as possible. You'll see at the end that I was going to stop at 4, but then I realized that the only way I'm going to get it inside of the facility again is if I do another rep. So I had to do another rep just to get it in, so I ended up doing 5 on this final rep. But yeah, they were all tough. I'm just happy I got this done today. I'm pretty proud. And that's another thing. When you're when you have programs and stuff like that, there are important times you need to rest. Obviously, when you're overreached, where you're working too hard, maybe days in a row, not getting enough sleep. But sometimes life just doesn't call for it to be the ideal situation to work out all the time, because not all of us are professional athletes where we work out 4 hours a day and then probably get massages in between each workout or whatever. So because most people have regular jobs, you have to just work with sometimes getting 4 hours of sleep, sometimes getting 6 hours of sleep, but you obviously have to be aware with how much energy you have that day and not get injured. Obviously, you want to do weights you can handle, or in this case, a tire that I can handle for at least 6 for half the amount of reps you can do. So awareness is key. You have to just completely feel your body out, know where you're at before going forward. Be like, okay, this is the day I need to sleep, or this is the day I need to just work through whatever I'm working through. And this day I decided to work through it. I believe this is rep 4, and this was what I initially said, like, okay, this is my last one, but then I pushed it over and I'm like, oh goodness, who's going to put this in here? There's no one else here but me. So I was like, okay, and now I gotta reset mentally, get ready to do a 5th set. As you can see, I'm pretty theatrical on this day. Just, looking around for people to see if anyone else wants to lift a tire, but ultimately I got it. The last set, taking a big breath, pushing up, using my legs, get planted, using my arms, and then pushing it through. And then I'm just super, super gassed, but I knew that the workout was downhill from there, on some level anyway. It still was pretty hard. After tires, what I did was, there's not really a real name for this, I don't think, so we're just going to call it pulling the tank. So I pulled the tank, and I think I had about 150 pounds of resistance on there, plus it was on the highest resistance level, which was 4. So, I don't know how much weight that feels like. It just feels hard. And then on the way back, now I did 3 sets of this motion where I pulled and then I pushed. And as you'll see, I'm going to come into the angle here. This is the downfall of not having someone video you. You don't get all of the footage, but the tripod works well enough in this case. So this day I decided to walk it up at a high resistance as opposed to sprint it up because that's the energy I had. Now I did 3 more sets of the same first part where I'm pulling the tank, but on the second half, I'm also pulling it backwards. And the second half, it really, really burns your hamstrings because you're essentially in a mini squat, and as you use your heels to press the floor so you can go backwards, it just burns your hamstrings like crazy. Here I am. I got to alter the angle because, again, it's just me on this day, gym to myself. Be patient. Okay, here we go. Now we're pulling it backwards, but yeah, this is you just have to try it. I'm not doing enough justice, but anyway, it's about, I think I did this for a distance of 20 yards or so. But yeah, thanks for watching and stay to the next video. Peace.